to your support, Canara Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Canara Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your field and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. And now Matt's care for farmers goes beyond seed as an agent for the new 4-state farm and ranch. From the best inputs available to the protection you need, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Girard Sports Live, presented by Pregame, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit with the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crocan. To learn more, visit ruralfiber.net or see everything Crocan has to offer at CKT, ruralfiber.org, or see everything Crocan has to offer at CKT.net. I'm Drake Miller here, joined by Caleb Humble for the first round here in White Auditorium of the state tournament. Girard Trojans taking on Osage City, and now it is really do or die time here, Caleb. You've gotten this far as both of these teams, and both teams hungry to advance to the tournament, hungry to get into that semifinals, and even more hungry to get into the championship.
And Drake, for this Trojan team, I mean, they have made it to this exact game now 3 years in a row. The difference maker this year is that you have to make it past this first round. And in these past couple of years, we've seen this Trojan team, you make it to that final tournament, but then that's where things start to kind of go bad, and that's where you get out in pretty, not a huge way, but a pretty rough way in those first games these past couple of years. So the biggest thing is making sure that if you can get a win, get things going, and just make your way through this tournament to give yourself a shot at that championship.
Well, this pregame show is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. And Caleb, let's go ahead and take a look at this bracket coming into tonight for the state tournament. We both got it pulled up here.
I was going to say, got to get it going a little bit.
Right now, Osage City playing against Girard, the 4 and the 5 seeds. Halstead High School playing against Marysville High School. That's the 1 and the 8 seed. Silver Lake High School taking on Heston as the 2 and the 7 respectively. And then Holcomb and Ellsworth as the 3 and the 6. Now that'll be played at United Wireless. And the Halstead has already been played, with Halstead taking the victory over Marysville 38-31. So looking ahead, that will be Girard's opponent going into Friday if they manage to pull off the victory tonight, or whoever pulls off the victory tonight, that is who they will play.
And that'll be a big game. I know really the only familiar school, at least to me, was that Silver Lake team that we've seen before, and definitely a competitive team, but I mean, you're at the state tournament from here on out, any team is going to be deserving to be here. And so I think as long as the Trojans can keep things rolling, and we had said it last game that if they continue to play that style of defense that we've seen so often, there is no reason that they can't beat any one of these other teams still left in 3A.
Those tournament matchups are brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing, 120 East Forest Avenue in downtown Girard. Diskins offers 24-hour towing and can repair all makes and models. To learn more, contact Diskins Auto and Towing at 620-724-8100. And now looking at the keys to the game, Caleb, you talked about them a little bit just now, but let's go a little bit more into depth of what Girard is going to need to take down the victory tonight.
Yeah, and I think for the Trojans, the thing that you just got to make sure, I mean, we say it every single game, it's the rebounding and getting those easy opportunities at the bucket. You can't just take a break and take those chances where they kind of just end up as nothing. And so if you can get rebounds, get second chance opportunities, get things rolling in a way that this Trojan team can really get scoring, get going quick, that's what's going to be beneficial to this squad. And finally, I think the other thing is just calm down a little bit. You're at a big stage. I mean, this is one of the coolest stadiums that we've seen. You just got to keep things cool, keep things rolling, and play like how this Trojan team plays. Don't let the stage fear you, and don't let this other team, knowing that they're going to be a great team, scare you into playing worse than how you can play at that elite level.
Those keys to the game are brought to you by the Girard Booster Club Game Day sponsor, which I had one in a while. We'll go ahead and make sure, as usually it is for home games, but shout out to all of our Girard High School Game Day sponsors throughout this season. We do not have one tonight, but once again want to give a shout out to all those game day sponsors. And then into our instant replay sponsor. Replays are brought to you by Challenger Construction. When the toughest terrain meets trusted expertise, choose Challenger Construction with more than a dozen renovation services. hydro seeding and dry seeding and more. Plus Challenger is your local call for pond building and tree trimming. Challenger Construction, 620-724-4222. Now we will step aside for a moment as the national anthem is up next, and we will be right back after this with starting lineups.
The Trojans of Girard and the Indians of Osage City High School. Osage City will be the home team on the scoreboard. Girard will be the visitors. And now let's meet the coaching staff, team managers, players, and non-starters for tonight's game. For Girard, assistant coach Emily St. Cities is senior number 1, Emery Speaks. Starting with Girard, junior, number 12, Kennedy Keller. For St. Cities is senior number 10, Kate Pitts. Starting for Girard is a senior number 14, Maddie Kessler. And for St. Cities is senior number 21, Julian Kinsman. Starting for Girard, a junior number 22, Carson Lorraine. And for St. City is sophomore number 23, Caitlin Boss. Starters for Girard is senior number 23, Erica Boatman. And for St. City, a freshman, 31, Jayla Jenkins. Girard is coached by Brad Herlocker, Osage City, Kate Boss. Your officials for tonight's game, Brad Ben Schrag, Kyle Wilson, and Thomas Byer.
So after that, I don't actually believe we do have a national anthem, but those starting lineups, as you saw them run across the floor, were brought to you by the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carlos Sands will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. Caleb, as we get close to the opening tip-off, it is brought to you by Farmers Bank. Farmers Bank, proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard.
And the kick into the hands of Spence. They kick out. Triple. Bullseye. Osage City starting with the ball here. Looking around the perimeter. To the room. Down into the corner. Near side. Favored by Osage City. Currently dropped by Hester back into the hands of Pitts. Back over. They take it inside. Bullseye. Short forward from Pitts again. Bullseye with another rebound. Osage City maintaining the possession here early. With the save, and it's over the hands of Girard. Inside, back out Jenkins. They put her on space. Trying to evade a run right now, and so take it from Jenkins with pressure and drives in. Inside the lead. Erica Coleman and Esther working out that mishap right now. Talking down there on the base. Kevin gets the board off the missed free throw.
And now back down the floor. As a miss two ends up in the hands of Spence. Here comes Boss. They flip it. Pitts. Loses the ball. Keller now down the floor.
That's good for Maddie Kester.
A good bucket, a great answer as Maddie Kester gets the first 2 on the board for Girard. Tying it up at 2 apiece. They work it inside. The 2 won't go from Boss, but she will get fouled. This one will also go against Erica Boatman. Bowman with 2 early fouls. As Boss knocks down her first.
And with that, it looks like we will have our first substitution for the Trojans. Callie Trezona will check in, and Erica Boatman will take a seat.
2 made free throws for Boss. Creates the gap as it stands right now. Sisney trying to drive in, but it's taken away. Jenkins on the break down the floor. Like you said, Caleb, in the pregame, lot on at stake right now for this Girard team as a made triple from Spence lengthens the lead. Loose ball goes into the hands. Pitts with the steal. Now down the floor as it'll be Boss trying to work to the glass. Can't get it. It'll be rebounded by Kester, and she will draw a foul against Jenkins.
So kind of like how we were talking about earlier in that pregame show is for this Trojan team, the lights are bright. You just can't be a deer in the headlights. You need to play your style of basketball and keep things going even at this larger stage.
100%. It is very important to keep your cool as Augie Mooneyham checks in for Marley Sisney. And now Maddie Kester gets called for a walk, showing some signs of frustration. And now Coach Urlacher wants a timeout. Probably a good time. You're seeing a bit of a stretch right now where Osage City's kind of going on a run. Kester gets called for a walk, very uncommon from her, and kind of voicing that frustration towards Orand, who I guess was on that miscommunication.
And I mean, like you're saying, just for this Trojan team, you need to make sure that you're communicating, and you need to make sure that you're playing as a team and not just one girl on the court that's doing everything, if you can manage to keep this win and move on to that next round.
This break in the action was brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. Now, Indians working with the ball once again as it's Spence working with Pitts over to Boss. Boss cross court to Jenkins. Jenkins now looking for a driving opportunity and will get fouled. Who is this one going against?
She will be shooting free throws. It looks like they're going to call that against Callie Trezona, and so that'll be her first, our team third.
Jenkins knocks down the first. Currently tied for leading scorer with Spence at 3. And gets the fourth. 9-2 score. Orand, quick pass down the floor. Mooneyham could not collect. It was a good look, but just can't quite connect there. And now 4:14 on the clock as Osage City takes it down the floor. Looks to try and capitalize on yet another possession. Their offense looking clean right now through the first. Boss's shot won't go. This one taken away by Keller. And maybe that is what Keller needed to quick start her defensive prowess.
And a steal like that can get the offense going just as easily. And there's that foul called on Maddie Kester, sending her to the line for a possible 2 more points from the stripe.
And that will also go against Jayla Jenkins, which puts her at 2 on the contest. I gotta say, the Osage City crowd making a good case right now and saying that it was straight up, but those calls have been back and forth. I mean, that is the way this game has been called. It's been pretty similar both sides. Saw some kind of light touchy fouls from Girard earlier. Now we're seeing them dished back on the Osage City side. Girard's just having some trouble getting the ball down the floor, so it doesn't seem like it.
And that's something that this Girard team really hasn't had an issue with all year, and so definitely a little bit of adversity here early in this first quarter, but something this Trojan team can definitely overcome and change throughout the rest of the game.
Pitts and Spence working up top as they subbed in the new face, number 20, Sawyer Cerna. Cerna goes up for 2, can't grab it. This one, another foul from the putback by Kitzelman.
Looks like that will go against, really, they're calling it against Kennedy Keller, and so that'll be her first. At first, I thought that was going to go against Trojans being her second, but at least keeping the fouls evenly spread throughout the team.
They make the second of their free throws from Kitzelman, who collects her first point of the game. Missed shot from the inside leaves Girard's possession empty-handed. Now working it down low, Boss with a mid-range 2, and she connects. Osage City finding their groove early. Girard taking a little bit of time to warm up. But we will see if they can collect themselves here. Keller flips out Mooneyham. Mooneyham goes for the reverse and gets fouled. She will be headed to the line now. Lots of free throws here in the first.
And for this Trojans team, they're down by 8 here early in the first, but we've seen them come alive in the second quarter, and they've really shined in that second period. And so something to look out for is if they can take this Osage City team from behind and really just get them. I'm expecting it, but we'll need a big second quarter from this Trojans team to get it closer at half.
Briley Black checks in as Mooneyham goes 1 for 2 on the 5th visit in this game. Only about 5:20 into this game as well. As travel called, will turn over the ball back into Girard possession. So they will take over on one of the few turnovers from Osage City so far. It's been tough to get them to make the mistakes, but maybe this is what they needed. Keller, Sisney looking to work it over to Aram, but drives herself. This one won't go, and off the hands of Black into that of Pitts. Indians down the floor as Boss checks up at the elbow. Now working it back over. Pitts fakes back around. Boss outside the perimeter in the corner. Here's Spence looking to drive, flips it inside. Kitzelman back out. Cerna will draw the foul. And that goes against Briley Black, so staying spread out. But man, this is gonna be brutal coming down the wire when you have a lot of these players that are in semi kind of foul trouble, and you don't want to get them into anything any deeper.
And a lot of the fouls being called so far early on have been on those players that we typically see down low, with Boatman, Trezona, and Black all getting a foul. But with that being 5, it will send this Indians team to the bonus. And so more opportunities from the line. So that's what this entire first quarter seems like. It's just been just free throw after free throw.
Well, Osage City has only made 3 buckets from the floor, totaling to 7 points. As this one's poked out by Boss, out of bounds. The rest of those points coming from free throws.
And so like you were saying, I think the biggest issue for the Trojans early on is getting that ball across half court, and that'll be something they'll need to change to make this team get better in that scoring column.
Keller works it to Kester. Orand now working on the perimeter. Kester gets a drive past the defender, but it is blocked by Kitzelman. I think she got a hand on it there, left it short for Kester. Here's Pitts, back up top to Spence. Cerna. Still staying near the logo here. Spence flips it, Kitzelman, pump fake three, gets it. Julia Kitzelman extends the lead into the double digits with that shot. And Orand looking to cut in, does get the bucket, but it'll be called null as a foul was up at the top of the key. That'll be the fourth, 45 seconds to go, so no shot.
So for the Trojans, they have a chance to hold it here and take that last shot without there being a shot clock in this final tournament. Kennedy
Keller
will prove me wrong.
Could not get it to fall through. As Boss takes to the paint, lays it off the glass, no good. A good let through by the defense as Boss was churning her wheels down the floor. Just a little too fast for her own good, and now a takeaway. Boss trying to get back down the floor. 17 on the clock. So they work it back over. Kitzelman. Spence takes the three. Can't go off the back iron. Keller with 3 seconds. Orand will flip it forward. Kester does not get it off in time. Will not matter. But through the first 8 minutes, it is 5-15. Girard with a little bit of work to do on their plate, but we'll be right back after this.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live here in White Auditorium for quarter 2. 8 minutes on the clock. A 10-point lead manufactured out of this Osage City Indians team through the first quarter. Orand to Boatman. Boatman driving inside, can't get the bucket. Rebounded by Keller, it is blocked. Back out of bounds and barely hanging on is Jenkins. Jenkins, her pass across, collected by Boss. Pitts now on the wing. Kitzelman over to Spence. Inside, Jenkins working against Boatman. Puts up a 2 and it's good. A good 2 from Jenkins after a great defensive effort as well. As this one goes loose again. Another turnover from the Trojans. This has been the kryptonite, but Sisney gets it right back and now draws a foul.
Osage City foul, Boss.
Boss gets her first. Now down the floor, Kester, Boatman, trying to work it into the paint, puts up a 2, can't go. Keller, her try, no dice either. Back the other way for Jenkins. 1v2 for Oran as she fouls. Forces free throws out of Emery Spence.
So from Carson there, not a terrible foul. I mean, early here in the second, taking your first foul and making her earn it from the line instead of giving up that easy 2 from that fast break.
6:45 on the clock as Spence takes her first, drills it. Girard offense just a little bit slow. They've done great defensively. 15 points, certainly nothing to really scoff about through the first quarter, especially against this team who has certainly been successful in getting here. And double dribble called. Oran saying that it was certainly tipped.
I mean, just one of those calls that you're never quite sure if that opponent got the hand in there or not, but like you're saying, for the Trojans team, the biggest thing is just getting the offense going, and that shouldn't be an issue from this team that we've seen all year being such an offensive powerhouse.
They've been so level through these last few weeks. And now flipping it down the floor, Oran lays it off the glass, and it's good. First points of quarter number 2 come from Carson Oran. Now Boss tries to put up a 2, that won't go. Great defense from Maddie Kester. As Oran boosts down the floor. Kester now looking to drive to the paint. Puts up a 2, and it's good. 9-18. And calling a timeout will be Osage City. They want a full, so we'll take a break with them. 18-9 is the score. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years, with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. Just under 6 to go here in quarter number 2 as Spence works it over to Jenkins, nearly poked out by Sisney, but she applies some pressure and gets the contested shot to miss. What a great play by Marley Sisney. Step up in both aspects, trying to get the steal and then applying pressure to the shot. Jenkins felt her presence from behind. Kester puts up a contested shot, but that won't go either. Liking the looks out of both of these teams. Trojans certainly trying to step up defensively to give themselves some room offensively as Boss works it down. New face on the floor is Addison Watson, number 5, playing at that point spot for Osage City. Here's a 3 ball from Boss, won't go, rebound Keller.
And as of these last couple of possessions that we've seen from the Trojans on both offense and defense, they're looking a lot more like that we've seen in these past couple of games. And Erica gets called for a travel.
Yeah, did kind of just a little hop. She's been doing that a little bit. Gets away with it for the most part, I would say, but that kind of little jump sometimes catches the eye of the official, and even if her foot doesn't leave the ground, it just kind of looks like it. Spence over to Kitzelman. They work it back out. Spence for the 3. Can't get it. It's short. Kester. Orand now down the floor, works it to Boatman. Boatman in for two. 11-8. This one, almost batted away by Keller as Jenkins takes to the paint and gets an answer. Still though, Girard cutting into that double-digit lead that they started the second quarter with, looking a lot cleaner both defensively and offensively. As now this one almost poked out by Spence. Orand wide open for the triple.
She got it.
Mistakes were made on the Osage City defense there. Orand finds herself on an island, and this one poked out, but a foul called.
I mean, like you're saying, Carson's not the type of player that you just leave wide open for three. She's going to make that pretty much every single time.
I will tell you what, Carson Orand, a very impressive player because she primarily suits herself as a facilitator, which leaves these teams to think, as we see another foul, this one I think is going against Sisney after Keller collected her second. I forgot to cover that, but like I was saying, Orand, primarily a facilitator, now they're like, oh, you know, she's just gonna pass it off. She can drill from just about any range and shows off that capability right there on that possession. Very surprising though, nonetheless, to see a team leave her that wide open.
Especially, I know you haven't played this team like we've played those CNC teams all year, but you've got to watch a little bit of film to know that Carson has that three-point ability.
Kitzelman takes advantage of the free throws. Back up to an 8-point lead here as Orand tries to take to the paint. Kicks out, Keller for the three. Can't go. Off the right side glass. Boss now pressured by Orand as she follows her down the floor. Contact at midcourt. Nothing called, but it will go out of bounds. Back to the Trojans.
And something to note, Drake, with this court, that black line that you're seeing for the three-point is actually the college level 3. And so there is a three-point line that's probably a little bit harder to see. It is that yellow that is the high school 3. So maybe these girls looking to take a couple of longer shots, just thinking that that black line is the three-point line.
Kester does take one of those longer threes, but that one rattles short. Now down the floor to Kitzelman. Kitzelman checks up just inside the arc, can't go, and Orand with the rebound. Kester now boosting down the floor, gets past a couple defenders, lays one off the glass. Oh my goodness, barely trickles out. Saved and out of bounds, will stay with Girard. Off of the hands of Kitzelman, fought for by Boatman.
So great hustle by Erica down low just to keep the possession here. And if you're the Trojans, you need every single one of those possessions to crawl back into this game.
Sisney drives inside, puts it up, can't go. And now foul called after the rebound. Jenkins.
That foul will go against Erica Boatman, her third foul already here pretty early on, and so definitely something to look for that will cause an impact on this game.
So Boatman already over 50% on her foul count for today. Just under 3 to go here in the second, so if they decide to sub her out, which I believe they will, Trojans hitting the scores table, she won't miss too much time here in the first half, and a loose ball goes out of bounds.
So that's now 2 or 3 opportunities that this Trojan team has had. You've got to make sure that you can really make an impact on one of them to cut this lead down and get this scoring back in the Trojans' favor.
Back down the floor, Kester over to Orand. Sisney now back up top. Orand drives to the paint, puts up a shot, can't go. Trojans will get fouled. Trojans does capitalize on her first. and gets the second as well. Spence works it over. Back to Spence at the logo. Here's Cerna. Pitts. All three of them outside the arc with Boss and Kitzelman working the underneath for Osage City. Spence. Far side wing, under a minute 30 to go. Kitzelman kicks out, Pitts with an open three. Can't get it as it swirls out. Kester with the rebound, and this will be a jump ball. Coach Urlacher looking for that foul call, but it will stick with Girard, so not too punishing immediately. And I think this is important here as Girard is trying to get themselves back into this game. Oh no, it will go to Osage City.
Osage City, yeah.
Misspoken, but not a bad jump ball at all then, as they end up getting the possession right back. So kind of a little beneficial there as Kester puts up a two, can't go. This one out of bounds as Cerna steps out in the attempt to save.
So for the Trojans here, I mean, if you can score, get it within a 4-point game going into half, that'll be big just to get this game closer.
Yeah, certainly so, especially going into this quarter with a 10-point deficit. That would be significant work. Keller, dribble, in for three.
And that's good.
Yes, Kennedy Keller. Talk about cutting it down to 4. How about 3, Caleb?
I mean, I won't mind it.
Spence takes to the paint. The kick out, Boss for the 3. She gets it. What an answer.
So just under 30 seconds left in this half. Trojans can hold for that last shot and end this game right, or in this half right.
This one down the floor as Cerna loses it. Timeout called by Urlacher. Good heads-up play as they will maintain possession going into halftime. So they will get that inbound at half regardless, because that would have been a jump ball. Would have switched the possession arrow, so good heads-up call. 6-point game right now. Urlacher now down to 3 timeouts. Osage City sitting at 4. And probably feeling a little bit of the pressure as Girard's getting on their tail a little bit.
And I mean, for Osage City, you started off this game so hot and you grew that lead from the Trojans. But like you're saying, this second half, or this second quarter, is where this Trojan team has really started to crawl back. And we've seen them do this before, where the second quarter is where they just take off. And so far, that's what's happened, and now they've gotten this lead just down to 6 with the ball, hoping to score with 14 seconds left before break.
And once again, like you said, 4-point lead going into half when you get the ball back, certainly something you'd be happy to work with, or less, obviously, pending a Kennedy Keller 3 once again. But we see a new face on the floor, Macy Munkin, checking in here for the end of the first half. 10 seconds here. Oran catches the elevator screen. Munkin drives the baseline, puts up a shot, can't go. 4 seconds as Boss weaves out, gets the shot off and off the glass. A close look there from Kaylin Boss as that will end quarter number 2. We head into halftime, score 25-19. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Why can't I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Jenny, or Amber in Girard today.
Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Coles carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Coles continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Coles Service, 620-724-4121. See more at ColesServiceLLC.com.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
The Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only. Restrictions apply. Eastside Cafe, a favorite of the 4 states winner. Go Trojans from Eastside Cafe.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
And we're back for the halftime show here on Girard Sports Live, presented by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we take a look back at the first half, Kennar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kennar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at KennarEyeCare.com. Caleb, first half very interesting, kind of a tale of two quarters, as Osage City really dominated in the first quarter, and then Girard kicking it back into gear in the second and gathering themselves to build to only a 6-point deficit now as it stands.
And so for the Trojans, I mean, like you're saying, just an incredible start to that second quarter, and then the only thing is you got to keep it rolling. You can't let things dry up here in the third and then expect to just take over again in that fourth quarter. And so you'll need everything you can get just to tie this game and then take over. And we've said it before, you don't need to be leading all game. You just need to be leading when that final buzzer sounds. And so for this Trojan team, as long as you can crawl back and make it close and get that win, even if it's in that last minute, that's going to be a big part of taking that victory and moving on to that next game.
Yeah, and right now the leading scorer for the Indians is Jayla Jenkins. She's been kind of the player to watch. Boss has had a couple of moments as well, some really big highlights with a big three down the stretch of that second quarter, as well as a couple of other threes from Spence and a couple of the Girard players as well, which we'll get to here in a second, as Caleb is going to mention those. But a phenomenal performance right now out of both of these teams. They're both certainly fighting. You can see the grit on the floor. Both of these teams want this win so bad, and it is going to be who wants it more at this point, because Osage City got a little bit comfortable there in the second quarter, let up some room to this Girard team. They got to realize you got to keep up the pressure. You got to keep with what they're doing, or they are not going to be able to pull off this victory. And I'm saying that with pretty good confidence. Girard, though, same story. You got to keep doing what you did in the second quarter if you want any kind of chance of taking this game down. Still got 6 points to make up, which may not seem like a lot compared to the 10, but still a couple of possessions worth.
And like you're saying, you can definitely tell that both of these teams want this win and that both of these teams are deserving to be here in that state tournament. But looking at the Girard scoring, our leading scorer is Maddie Kessler with 6, followed by Carson Oran with 5. Kennedy has a 3. Erica and Callie both have 2, and Augie Mooneyham with that sole free throw with 1. And so evenly spread amongst this Trojan team, and we've seen that recently, and we've seen that success coming from the scoring, coming from pretty much anywhere on the floor, from anyone on the floor. And so I think for the Trojans, as long as you keep up what you were doing there in that second quarter, there's no reason you can't come out with a win tonight and move on to that game on Friday.
Those halftime stats were brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt is heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating, call 620-724-2735. And we are only a couple of seconds away from kicking off this second half of action. Quarter number 3 up next. Girard will start with the rock here. Sisney ready to inbound. Starters on the floor for both of these squads.
So both teams will be scoring next to their student sections. Switching sides of the court. Maybe this side with our students will bring a little bit of luck for this Trojan team.
Keller tries to open up with a 3, and that one just dribbles off the rim. No good. Working it inside to Boss. Indians as Jenkins blocked by Boatman. Now a three from Pitts. That won't go. Rebound Kitzelman, and too many opportunities leads to points for Osage City. Oran working around the arc to Keller. Now here's Kester. Trying to work her way inside as Sisney now. Ooh, had a backdoor cut, no Oran, but a tight lane there to fit the ball in. Sisney keeping it on the perimeter here. Oran works it in. Kester off the glass. Yes.
It rolls in.
Good bucket from Maddie Kester. As those two players, Jenkins and Kester, going back and forth right now. I know the last bucket was from Kitzelman, but Jenkins kind of with the assist there, and now Spence gets another three from range. Accelerates this lead back up to 9. This Osage City team coming out fighting here in the third quarter as Keller tries to work it inside and draws a foul against Jenkins.
I believe, is that Jenkins' third foul here early in the third. So something to watch out for with possible foul trouble.
So Jenkins in slight foul trouble, something that this Girard team has been able to work against. And something else is Oran's three. Gets another to go. Kitzelman, foul call. Let's take a look back at that.
Her first.
We'll get that fixed for you guys on the replay. Boss gets fouled, and now we'll be shooting 2.
See who that foul is called on. Looks like it'll be called on number 12. That's Kennedy Keller, her third.
Boss is first. Goes clean through. Let's get a better look. Great work between her and Boatman as Boss goes 2 for 2. Now back the other way after a quick possession from the Trojans. Boss for 3, gets it. Kaylin Boss lighting up the floor right now, back into the double digits as Urlacher wants another timeout here. He's got to need to get these Lady Trojans back into shape, back where they were in that second quarter. This timeout brought to you by Salon 214. Now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well.
So Drake, early here in this third quarter, what seems to be the issue is we're seeing a lot more of what we seem to see in that first quarter of just this team is not able to catch up with the Indians. And so for the Trojans, you need to make sure that you get back into that shape, that rhythm of what we were seeing there in the second, and get things right back on track early on and fix the issues here early after the break. And that should be enough to fix this team right back into that shape. But in that second quarter, we saw they were only down by 3 at one point and now down by 11. And so just another hill you'll have to climb back up.
They certainly are no stranger to climbing the hills. Sisney working the baseline drive. This one does get blocked. So she will work it back out to the perimeter. Keller Over to Kester. Kester now trying to work the interior, back out to Sisney. Hand off Oran, and they will slow things down here to their own pace. Trying to really take control of this game as Kester gets the dish to the paint and is fouled on her way to the bucket.
So from the Trojans, what you like to see here is just slowing down the offense and making sure that you can get a good look at the rim. And on that opportunity, Maddie was fouled, and so definitely points here from the line are now an opportunity.
First one in for Kester. Let's take another look at that foul.
Game as Kester gets the dish to the paint and is fouled on her way to the bucket.
Looks like her second is good, so cuts the lead back down to single digits.
Back down to 9 here for Kester, or for Girard from Kester. Spence, Kitzelman working to the block, puts up a 2, won't go, and it's rebounded by Boatman with a foul on top of it. And I believe that will be Jayla Jenkins collecting her 4th here in the 3rd.
And so that one, I mean, pretty obvious over the back. But like you're saying, her 4th, that's definitely going to make an impact on this game. With now Osage City missing their 5th player in that starting lineup, possibly for the rest of this 3rd quarter and possibly a good chunk of that 4th quarter.
And she was a key player. Boss was really taking up the mantle here in this 3rd as Keller scrambles for the ball there. Boatman to Oran. Oran takes a mid-range floater, and it's in. Good bucket from Carson Oran. It's a cut further into this lead. Maybe something to open up defensively, that baseline drive without Jenkins there, or offensively, I suppose, for Girard, defensively for Osage City. Kitzelman trying to drive, kicks it across. Cerna working against and blocked by Kester.
Big defensive stop from Maddie Kester. Now your only thing is you got to do it again just to get the offense going. Because as long as their offense continues and your offense is matching them, you won't be able to grow this lead or shorten this lead any more than you already have.
A big break there for Girard as an open miss 2 from Osage City as Sisney's 2 does not fall. A healthy try though nonetheless as Boss was trying to draw the foul, but that one stripped from her grasp. Collective effort from Boatman and Keller on the defense. 3:30 to go. Working underneath, Boss puts up a 2 and it's in. Sisney was a little out of position there against Kaylin Boss. As now Keller flips out, Sisney, sidestep 3. Rainbow shot will not go as Oran fights for it on the floor, and we've got a foul. Oran collects her 2nd.
And I mean, those are some of the fouls that you see that, I mean, Carson's just going for the ball and they see a little bit too much contact, but great effort, great hustle and attitude from Carson to chase after that ball.
You've got to give her kudos. Give kudos to all these players, really. They have been on the floor trying to get a ball to each their own. Working it inside and blocked again. Covered like the rug on your floor.
And we are seeing big defensive stops from these 2 seniors of both Bowman and Kester, just making sure that nothing in the paint comes easy.
Kitzelman finds a gap there. Gets a 2 to go. Now back the other direction for Oran as it's back up to an 11-point lead. As Oran works it inside, no whistle there, and Boatman gets fouled. Oran's kind of in disbelief here as something should have happened.
I mean, you were expecting either a walk or a foul or anything.
Yeah. I felt like if it wasn't a foul, she probably walked, but the fact that they didn't call the walk tells me that there may have been a foul at hand, but who knows? Boatman gets the first of her free throws. Girard doing very well. They've been super efficient from the free throw line. I'm going to try to anti-jinx here and acknowledge that I may have just jinxed this, but Augie Mooneyham, the only one to have missed a free throw today. But she only missed one, and I jinxed it.
Drake, you got to stop doing that.
Just got to call it how it is, man.
I won't blame you.
39-29. Down the floor. Cerna over to Spence. Spence now trying to work it to the block. Lays it off the glass and in for two. As we reach the 2-minute mark, 12-point lead for the Indians. Mooneyham's pass over the head of Orand. And Urlacher, with only 2 timeouts left, is going to take his fourth. Wants a full, and we will take one with him. 41-29 is the score. We'll be right back after this.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Siebert back to pass. Lehman diving for the end zone, and they get the listing. Lehman passes off to Siebert on the far wing. Siebert the lob, and Lehman with the alley-oop dunk to close the deal. Lehman a hard hit ball to left field. Siebert is at the wall, and they close another one. Lehman Realty with another big-time win. Lehman Realty.
And we're back. Just under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. As a three-pointer opens up out of the break. Will not go from Kitzelman. Down the floor for Girard, and a mishap pass. Cerna with a break and in for two. As I didn't see what that call was, Caleb. I was checking.
Oran got it a little bit too quick off the baseline. They're calling her back for it, but for the Trojans, I think you're down by the most you have been in this game so far, with about a minute and a half remaining in this third quarter. The biggest thing is you can't get it all back here. You just got to give yourself a chance in that fourth.
Boatman feeling some pressure from 2 defenders, Spence and Boss. As Oran dribbles around the perimeter. Kester now going to drive the base. And a physical 2 does not fall. And it'll go back to the Indians. Sequence of events there that I felt like Girard should have got the benefit of the doubt on a couple of those. Down the floor, Boss finds an open Cerna underneath, blocked by Sisney, blocked by Bowman. My goodness.
And the foul.
This defensive effort is astounding. And that will be foul number 5, which will send Girard to the line. First one in. Second one, good from Sisney. Every point matters now here for Girard, and you have got to keep the defense to a flawless performance. Spence does get fouled and one. What a shot. Emery Spence. Does get the bucket, and Maddie Kester will collect only her second foul. Chance for a three-point opportunity, and she has been efficient tonight, to say the least. $15-point lead right now for the Indians. And Sisney's pass to Oran goes out of bounds. Keller steps over to whisper something to Carson Oran, maybe try to draw something up here offensively, as they're gonna need to try to cut into this lead. Spence, with limited time, does drive, can't get the shot clean. Now down the floor, Keller with a sprint, puts it up and at the buzzer, gets the bucket to go. Hopefully a little bit of a morale boost going into this fourth quarter as 8 minutes remain in this contest. Wow, what an ending to this third quarter. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Back on Girard Sports Live. Fourth quarter in the first round of the state playoffs, state tournament rather, here in White Auditorium. The pressure is on here for both of these teams, for Osage City to try and close it out, for Girard to pick it back up. Kitzelman gets a three. And what a bucket to start this fourth quarter for the Indians. Oran working it underneath, can't get it to fall. And we have a foul called as Kester grabbed the rebound. It will go against Emery Spence. That will be her third. So Spence in a little bit of trouble now. Oran finds Keller. Long two off the front of the rim, won't go. And it's rebounded by Spence. 7:30. Kitzelman flips it to Jenkins inside. Kitzelman once again, this time will be fouled. This goes against Maddie Kester, her third. To try and draw up a 17-point lead, gets it there, and now to attempt for 18. If Kitzelman is able to drop this one in. And she does. 51-33. Kester, Sisney, Keller inside Kester at the block. Posts up, can't get the two to fall. Gets her own rebound and will be fouled on her way back to the basket. This one goes against Kitzelman. And the first one good from Kester. Trying to cut this down as much as possible. And she does. Gets both of them to fall. Back to 16 here. Gonna need a couple of turnovers, turn to twos, maybe even some threes sprinkled in there as well, as Jenkins drives the basket. Back out, Spence at the point. Kitzelman fakes the three and drives and is fouled and one. That will be Boatman's fourth. And with 6:50 on the floor, Kitzelman takes another visit to the line. It's in. Boatman will check out for Trojans for a couple of minutes as she is at 4 fouls. Urlacher wanting to save her to see if they can bring themselves to a chance here towards down the stretch. Kester for three, opens up the perimeter, trying to do everything in her power to get this back in the groove. As Jenkins down the floor is fouled by Trojans. Forced to earn them from the line. Trojans gets her second. And for Jenkins on the first. Addison Watson checks in for Osage City in place of Peyton Pitts as Jenkins gets the second to go. Back up to 18. Kester on the wing. Gives back up to Keller, out to Sisney. Sisney drives, reverse layup in for two. Just over 6 to play. So they work it. Jenkins, baseline drive, will not go on the two. Blocked by Sisney, but a foul called.
Looks like that will be Marley's second, our team fourth, and so with about 6 minutes remaining here in this last quarter, any other foul will send this Osage City team to that free throw line.
Take another look at that foul here.
So work it, Jenkins.
As don't see a lot, maybe elbow to elbow. Out of Sisney, but.
And I mean, there's always those sound cues and whatnot that we can't always see or hear from up here.
Great effort defensively, though, as at this point, it's desperation mode. I mean, you've got to get everything you can and try to get away with every call you can as well. Kester drives to the base and in for two. Kester really taking some assertion, I suppose, if that's the correct word, in this game.
I mean, like you're saying, you can tell Maddie wants to take things in her own hands, to do anything to make sure that she plays another game in that maroon and gold uniform.
And a great pass. Jenkins gets it to fall. Too many rebounds is what Urlacher's telling the bench right now. Just too many second and third chance opportunities from Osage City. As this two from Trojans won't go. Kester puts one back up, gets her own rebound, is fouled, and will be headed to the line. Who does this go against? It will be Kitzelman.
That'll only be her third.
First one in. And it's just kind of been back and forth with these 2-2-2 from each side of the floor. Osage City responding to Girard. Girard responding to Osage City, being stuck at this 18-16 difference. Whatever Girard is doing on offense is working, but defensively, Osage City has just been super powerful with their offensive attack, and it's been so tough for Girard to try and get a break. Jenkins drives in, gets fouled.
That'll be against Maddie Kester. Sending Jenkins to the line, but that is now Maddie's fourth foul, so our two seniors with 4 apiece.
And Boatman actually rejoins the game as well with under 5 to play. And the last thing you would want is to see one of those seniors foul out here.
Like you're saying, I mean, both great players, and both of them have had amazing careers and an amazing season. Just two of the best players on this team for sure.
It's been a tough season for this Girard girls team. I'll tell you what, to get this far already was an accolade in itself. The things that they have been through, Coach Urlacher's voiced them throughout this season. The injuries from the two seniors, double injuries from both of the seniors, having to miss 2 points in the season. But what an effort everybody on that team has made to try and create this opportunity as Sisney tries for 3, can't go. Kester back in for 2. And Urlacher will take his final timeout here with 4:03 to go. We'll get to talk to his players one more time under his own discretion, as Macy Munkin actually headed to the scores table and checked in. We'll see who she comes in for. But Caleb, as we come down the stretch here in the back half of quarter number 4, this has been one, I mean, back on the topic of this season, one heck of a ride for this Lady Trojans team as well as the boys team. I didn't get to see their last matchup, but one heck of a ride for this girls team, especially with the injuries, the illness. I mean, for over probably 70% of these games, we didn't get to see these 5 girls start on the starting lineup.
And I mean, like how you're saying, it's just been an incredible season. And I've seen, going to high school with a lot of these players just throughout these last couple of years, how incredible this team and this core has been together. And so really giving one last effort here as a team. And I mean, I know how close all these girls are with just one another and how important this team has been to them. And so just kudos to every single player on this floor that we've seen on an incredible season and incredible careers for these seniors.
Not quite over yet, as Girard with only 16-point deficit here. With under 4 to play. That turnover could be the spark of something here, and you'd like to see that.
And I mean, like you're saying, you're only down 14 with 4 minutes left, and we've seen crazier things happen on the basketball court.
Not to correct you, Caleb, but it is 16. Apologies.
Oh, it's fine. Not too great at math.
You're good. Boatman works it inside to Sisney. Her shot blocked by Boss and taken away as down the floor with Spence. She works it. Jenkins in for 2. Like I said, though, couple turnovers to get that back down to 10, and this could really become a game here once again for Girard. Keller's 2 just dances out of the rim. Girard unable to get a break here as Spence works it over to Jenkins, and in for 2. Some incredible shots coming out of this Osage City team here in the fourth quarter.
And I mean, you would just like to give credit to this Osage City team.
Yeah.
That from this game, you can tell they're here for a reason. And this is an incredible team that can definitely make a push if they win this game moving forward. But like we had said earlier, any team that you see in this tournament is going to be one of the best teams in the state of Kansas, one of the best 8 teams in 3A.
Yeah, these are the best of the best. I mean, it really does not get better than this. As Emery Spence will get her 4th and will head to the bench. Oh no, she does not head to the bench. Somebody checked in for Osage City. I didn't catch the number, but Spence actually stays on the floor as Sisney misses on the 2. Now back down the floor. Spence trying to work her way around Kester. Will not get the 2. Munkin fighting for the rebound. And
I think they're calling that on Munkin.
They will call that on Munkin. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one.
I mean, Drake, you don't want to be too nitpicky, but her hands seem pretty straight up in the air, but not our call to make.
Yeah, perfectly said, Caleb. 68-46. Sisney over to Keller. Kester now on the wing. Keller now over to Orand and losing it, stripped away by Jenkins. Inside of 2:30 to go here. Boss will travel around Boatman. And I would tell you this, Caleb, I think Boatman's heart may have skipped a beat there when she heard the whistle, thinking that she was getting called for a foul. I was too. I was a little nervous. I was like, well, you know, we just saw the Munkin foul. Anything sketchy at that point as Keller misses on the 2 look. We will see a substitution with Macy Munkin coming in for Kennedy Keller. 2:04 to go. They get it into Spence. Feeling the pressure. They get it down to Jenkins. Jenkins now driving the paint, back out. The long 2 will not go from Addison Watson. Down the floor. Munkin gets the 2. Macy Munkin with a bit of a career moment there, getting her first points in a state tournament. Has had a phenomenal season filling in for those gaps when illness and injury struck this Trojans team. So certainly deserving of that career moment for Macy Munkin.
And like you're saying, we've seen Macy really pick up here in that sub-state tournament, and now here scoring in a state game, just helping out this Trojan team in any way that Coach Herlocker needs her coming off that bench.
Certainly one of the players that deserves credit in getting this Trojans team here, along with every other player that has touched the floor along the way. I mean, each of these players has had to do something and work their butt off to even get this opportunity. So,
and as Munkin takes a seat on the bench, Kennedy Keller does come back into the game. So starters back on the floor for the Trojans.
Kester's look does not go. Jenkins works it down the floor. As here is Addison Watson. Boss up near the logo over to Jenkins. 103. Working against Keller. Back to Watson and back to Jenkins. This one poked out of bounds with 53.8 on the clock. It will stick with the Indians.
It's like Coach Herlocker will make multiple substitutions. And that will be it for both Maddie Kester and Erica Bowman in that Trojan uniform coming off of the court along with Carson Orand.
Getting their well-deserved standing ovation. Emotions obviously running pretty high here. I mean, what a career. As you said, Caleb, what a season that they have had to battle through to get to this point. Big kudos to those two seniors. And playing that base spot, they really were the anchors of this team this season. As Keller hits the floor, arm in arm with Isabel Linda, the new face on the floor for Osage City.
And Drake, I mean, you just want to give a shout out to Kennedy Keller, because it doesn't matter at one point in a game, even in this last minute, she's still hitting the floor trying her hardest to give this team back one more possession. Just an incredible player, always playing her hardest.
Rand checks back in, which leaves the three starting juniors on the floor, along with Briley Black and Callie Trezona. Rand works it over. Keller with a floater, can't get it to go for two. Put back, trying to get a third rebound, cannot. But Orand catches it off the bounce. Keller a little bit shaken up after hitting the floor there. Briley Black for three, cannot go, and it is out of bounds. Last touched by Sophia Brab. 15 seconds to go. 22-point lead for Osage City. Inbound, three, Sisney, yes! One for the road for Marley Sisney. Drops it down inside of 20. 8.9 seconds. Get it in. Taking it down the floor, Caden Bose. And with 1 second left, Sisney will pick it up. And the buzzer sounds, ending the Trojan season 51-70. The Osage City Indians take victory in the first round of the state championship, or the state tournament. What a game, though.
And I mean, Drake, this Trojan team has made it to this stage in these last couple of seasons. And so, I mean, definitely a sad one here, ending it. It's always sad whenever it's your last game, but like you're saying, we want to give credit to this Trojan team for battling through all of the adversity and making it to this stage in the state tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it best, Caleb, just giving the shout out to every player that hit the floor during these varsity games. I mean, it was just a phenomenal season with what this Trojan team was given, what they were able to pull off with what they were given, and just huge kudos to them. Want to give, I mean, we can go ahead and transition into this post-game show, which is brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And Caleb, you've got our stats for the Trojans.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the stats, of course, I wouldn't necessarily trust these fully as I was also working the camera, but looking at it, it looks like our leading scorer was Maddie Kester with 11. Erica Boatman had 3. Marley Sisney with 5. Augie Mooneyham had 1. Kennedy Keller with 5. Carson Orand with 8. Callie Trezona with 2. Macy Munkin with 2. And so those are probably definitely off, but around what they scored. But
I would say our player of the game tonight is probably Maddie Kester, and want to give kind of a double shout here to also Erica Boatman. I know that I'm not really trying to sound like it's a pity give to the seniors, but truthfully, Erica Boatman with a phenomenal defensive performance tonight, facing the adversity of the tight fouls and getting a surplus of blocks down there in the base against some really good post players from Osage City. She did a phenomenal job. And Maddie Kester on the scoring side of things as well as the defensive side of things, able to get the job done, especially there in that fourth quarter. Maddie Kester just kind of took the game in her own hands, really started dicing up the defense, and, I mean, just wasn't able to break away Osage City with a lot of responses there late, and it was very tough for Girard to really get anything going. They had a great scoring fourth quarter, great scoring second quarter. First and third were a little bit spotty here and there, but still phenomenal quarters defensively all around. But our player of the game, I believe, will go to Maddie Kester and Erica Boatman for tonight, as they were both phenomenal down there in the post. And then for our shot of the game, I believe I don't know, do you have an idea here?
I think the shot that I immediately thought of, I mean, you can give it to Maddie in any of those opportunities that she had there late in the fourth, to trying her best to just get the thing going and just make sure that this team could have a chance there in the fourth. But another shot of the game that I was thinking about was that 3 from Carson Oran that really just keeps replaying in my head. One of the biggest shots that I think we had all game. And so, I mean, I'll leave it up to you, one of those shots.
I was going to say the 3 from Oran as well. I thought hers was a big swinging moment in the game. It allowed for this team to kind of birth themselves back to life and really try to give themselves a chance in that second quarter. And going into halftime with a single-digit deficit, I mean, that was opportunity there. But really, I think back when we talk about this entire game as a whole, where I draw kind of the conclusion of what happened to the Trojans in this contest, it really does come from the first quarter. I think when you start a game down, we talked about all season, starting a game with a lead and maintaining the lead instead of chasing the lead. That has been a very big strong suit to both the boys and the girls team for Girard this season. And honestly, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, as every team does want to have a lead basically the entire game. But the difference that it makes for these two teams has been pretty substantial, as we see a lot of those younger players playing for this girls team. They were kind of struggling, trying to chase the lead and really boost past. And it feels a little bit easier on yourself. You feel like it's your game whenever you have the lead.
And like you're saying, I mean, this girls team has been so great all season about just growing that lead early and then just kind of riding along with it. And so probably the most adversity we've seen of just them being down by so much so early on. And that's whenever things really started to feel uneasy, of just you weren't necessarily sure. And this team did a great job there in that second quarter of coming back and really giving themselves a chance. But there at the end, just not the outcome that we were looking for and not the way that we wanted to end this season. But, I mean, I'm saying that, but still just an amazing season from this Trojan team.
Yeah, can't say enough about how incredible it is. There are so many teams, CNC and 3A in general and beyond 3A, that if they face this amount of adversity, especially in 3A with how small your roster sizes are and how small your selection of players is, to be able to push through what they pushed through and still get the job to this point, very impressive. And like I said, that's all I have for our post-game show. Caleb, if you have any final comments here, I think we're just about wrapping it up.
Yeah, and I mean, like you're saying, just the way to end a season is making it to that state tournament. Definitely everyone's looking for that state championship, but I mean, incredible season from the girls, and then just an incredible way to end this senior year, at least from my perspective. Just something to look at going forward is, can this team continue and make it a four-peat of making it to the state tournament once again next year?
I really feel like there's no reason to say no. I mean, when you have a team that was out their seniors for so long and was still able to bring success and at a pretty high level as well, and as well as like 3 of your starters are juniors. They're going to be coming back. You have Trojans, who got a good amount of play time, and she's probably going to really shape into that center or that post player that this Lady Trojans team needs. Briley Black as well, kind of working that in and out, almost that Erica Boatman role as we've seen out of her, working the post as well as shooting from the arc very effectively. And then you also have Augie Mooneyham, who I'm sure is going to be stepping into that role as well, and she's a sharpshooter in her own aspect, a great defender as well. And Macy Munkin with years on her belt as well. I mean, you've got so many options here. I see no reason as to why you would not expect this team to be right back in this situation next year and be ready to fight for another.
And I mean, right there in the end of the fourth quarter, I know we were a little more focused on the fact that the seniors were finally sitting down and that those were their last minutes on the basketball court, but we did see that lineup of what you would expect for next year of, I think it was Black and Trojans both filling into those roles. And so, like you're saying, a couple of those bench players moving forward, but not the biggest roster change that this team could face, only losing 2 seniors. And so, like you're saying, definitely another great shot at making the state tournament once again for 4 years in a row from Coach Herlocker.
Well, for the final time this season, in a fashion that, like Caleb said, we didn't want to end, but we will. We will wrap up here on Girard Sports Live. I want to give kind of a special thank you to the community for accepting me. I appreciate you guys. I know I jumped in mid-season, but from what Caleb has told me, I've heard some good things, so I appreciate you guys for accepting me, and I appreciate Caleb for accepting me into this community. It's been an honor to be able to call this this back half of the season of such an impressive team on the boys and the girls side with some great coaches and a great community surrounding it. So once again, thank you, and shout out to everybody else who has said positive things, I guess. So
yeah, and I mean, Drake, I'm right there with you. I'd like to shout out the community that helped me grow up and just finding something that really was enjoyable for the senior year of high school. And I'd like to thank you for putting up with me throughout all of this. And I mean, just an incredible opportunity for this broadcast and just a great community to live in with great people and great basketball.
Well, we will be on for the spring season, so stay tuned for that on Girard Sports Live as we have more sports action coming to you from this channel. So like I said, stay tuned for that. But wrapping up for the final time from Girard Sports Live, for myself, Caleb, shout out to Sarah who couldn't make it tonight due to some unsuspected circumstances, and as well as the rest of the Varsity Sports Live production crew. We say thank you for watching, have a great night, and we hope to see you all next time.
Thanks for watching. From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.